Hi, I'm Dex Gelfand, and I'm here to give another talk about what I call therapeutic spiritual counseling. The point of this talk is what a participant most needs from a practitioner in any therapeutic context. And it's a fault of how this is not being accomplished in sessions for so many people. And I've found this out because of the effusive praise I regularly get from my participants, in particular about just being silent, being with them, and listening, not rushing them through whatever they're saying, giving them as much time as they need, letting them know that I understand that while you are not speaking, it's because you're thinking, and it's because things are processing within you, things are changing, viewpoints are opening up, you're seeing and feeling things. And so many of my fellow practitioners aren't doing this. Let me put it most simply. You should not be so in love with your script that your purpose for you becomes to get through your script. You are either engaging, being present with the participant, feeling what they're feeling, understanding and listening, or you're waiting for them to finish speaking so that you can ask them the next question or give them the next instruction of your script. Really, it's generally one or the other. You're either waiting for them to finish talking so you can say what you're going to say next, or you are with them. You're with them, you're understanding, and you're letting them process. I've said many times that a participant in a session can say, that's all I've got, that's my answer. But they're not looking directly at you, they're looking away. If they're saying, I'm done, they're looking over there, no. Something is still on their mind that they're processing. And what I do when I see somebody express that they're complete in what they're, in their answering of the question, but yet they're looking down or looking away, I don't say a word. And within moments, they will start to explain what's going through their mind. And this is building towards some revelation, some release of some negative energies, some change, some opening up of perspective. So that's an example of being with the participant, engaging with them, understanding what they're feeling. Believe me, if you will just focus on that. For instance, my fellow let's say, Scientology practitioners. I'm not a Scientology practitioner, but it's my background. I've done that. I understand it. There's some things that aren't as they should be, in my opinion, in that. Which is not to say that there's no value in it, but I don't endorse that particular path. My point is just this, that the Scientology practitioners are looking at this meter that's in front of them that shows certain changes of electrical resistance in response to what is entering and leaving a person's mind. And to a large extent, a Scientology practitioner is very busy focusing on that needle moving on a dial and being careful to note down on their worksheets every change. That is doing something other than engaging with and being with the participant. I don't really care what your particular mode of practice may be. There's many, many, many different paths, and many different approaches. And I don't care what of those you're doing. If you are not granting the participant full time and space and getting it across to them that you're granting them that time and space, and that you understand when they're not speaking, they're processing something, so that your participant doesn't have the idea they shouldn't be delaying you, they should be giving an answer because they're making you impatient while you're waiting for them to answer, which I see that happen in Scientology. There's some value attached to speed of questions and answers within a unit of time. Completely misplaced, completely misplaced. I have to disabuse my participants of that idea sometimes. Not just those who have experience in Scientology, but I see that happen all the time with that. I let every participant know that I understand that when you're not speaking, things are happening in your mind, and you want them to happen, and you want to see where they take you, and they're interesting, and they're opening things up to you and helping you to release unwanted feelings and to get changes in perspective and to see things in a different way than you saw them before. And so you can take all the time you need for that. I understand that's what's happening. You should feel no obligation to fill quiet time with verbiage just for the sake of doing that. I tell my participants, feel free to convey anything you're moved to convey, but please don't ever feel obligated to answer quickly or the idea that you're delaying the progress of the session because you're not speaking, or that I have that idea. Not at all. As long as there's something happening in your mind that you're noticing, I get it. I fully get it. I understand what's going on better than you think. You must allow that to happen. A wise and caring and successful, skillful practitioner who is going to be most helpful understands that he should never fall in love with his script. He should never be waiting for you to finish so that he can ask you the next question or give you the next instruction. If you're a practitioner, understand this from that perspective. Engage. Be with the person. Don't be concerned with noting everything down. Don't be in love with your script. Never be waiting to say or ask something while the person in front of you is looking away, being silent. That's where the gold is. That's where the magic is. And that's where the magic is for my participants in my practice that you see expressed in all these testimonials that are on my website. That is the number one factor. I get it. I understand the techniques that are being used. Of course, these are techniques I've developed, but the techniques that are being used are to start you off in the direction that your mind is already expressing. Just let it fully express. See where it takes you. That's where the gold is, and allowing that to happen. And so many of my participants expressed such appreciation that I just let them go where their mind takes them. I don't interrupt them. I don't rush them. I'm with them. They understand that I'm with them, that we're on this journey together. They don't feel obligated to satisfy me by responding quickly and cutting their own process short. I experience such gratitude from my clients for just the freedom, the liberation. Once given a question, once something comes to mind, to just let it completely unfold for as long as that takes, until you're satisfied and ready to express what has happened. Never fall in love with your script if you're a practitioner. Never be waiting for the person to finish. Be engaged. And if you're a participant working with somebody in sessions, you deserve no less. And please don't hesitate to let your practitioner know if you feel like you're being rushed and things are still fleshing out in your mind and you feel like you're not being granted the time you need for things to fully unfold. That's your responsibility to make that known. That is the most basic and essential, successful key to the magic that can happen in a spiritual, therapeutic session of any description, of any brand, of any type. So I hope that you will take this to heart from either or both perspectives. As somebody receiving sessions, participating in sessions, or as a practitioner. Want to know what it's like? Come to me. I can be reached through my website. It's spelled dexsessions.com. DEXSESSIONS.com. I'm always happy to give anybody an initial free session. Find out what it's like. that ability, that liberation to just take as long as it takes and convey whatever you are moved to convey once you're moved to convey it. It's really very liberating. I'm sure you're going to like it.